All right, we are back, all four of us this week. That was just like a random. Sorry, I don't know. I'm sorry. Hold on, 1 second. Greetings, salutations, welcome, Ranger fans. Happy Power Rangers Day. I am Josh, aka Vogon Poetry Slam on the Twitter and the Instagram. You can find me there. Follow me to see me bitching about politics and stupid fandom shit all the time. Joining me today is Blackwing 2040, aka Jonathan Jennings. How you doing?
Josh, I think you're gonna need to do that intro. Step
Gonna need
aside, man.
party,
Let me show you
gonna
how
need
let me show you
party.
how a pro shows you how it's done. What is going on, y'all? Is the Retro Ranger wrap up? We are
All right,
back all four
I'm gonna
of us
let you
here.
finish. I'm gonna let you finish. But I was talking to Bryce.
Kanye West. Okay, Kanye West. Okay, okay, Kanye West.
It's been
I
a
have no idea
long
what's even
week.
going
I
on
got,
right
I
now.
got, I had a bunch of stuff that I had to do for my day job this past week. I'm still not finished, so I got to finish that stuff on this weekend. So I'm just like, all over the place.
And just Kanye West me.
You know, Power Rangers Day. Before we actually came on and we're live, you guys were kind of bitching about there not being anything actually really going on. I haven't been paying attention because I've been prepping for the show. But since you guys have been, what has been going on? Like, has there been
Nothing.
anything?
Nothing. It's
Nothing.
Power
Okay,
Rangers.
well,
It's
hold
the
on, hold
20th
on.
anniversary of
Th-
Power Rangers. Nothing's going on.
The
It's
20th?
like,
All right,
hey, you like
listen.
toys?
No,
Here's
that's
some
not
toys.
true.
Oh, you like
This
toys? Here's another toy. I'm like,
no, we have
okay,
no
tell me
room to
something about a
complain.
TV show or a game or maybe a
We have
movie.
had
Tell me
announcements
something
all
or make a
month.
short episode or something. I don't know. Do something with the franchise besides that. Rock.
Look, I don't care what
We have
people
had
say.
announced Lightning Collection announcements all month. I mean, we got the freaking kick-ass Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures. Those are freaking awesome. We got
Toys.
Finster.
Toys.
Dude,
We
that
got
that Finster does look really
that.
good
Come
though.
on, the Finster is
I'm not
amazing.
gonna
It
I'm not
does
gonna
look
lie.
good, but I
I
And the
don't
haven't
trust
Ninjetti
it until I
figures.
see it
I
in hand.
haven't bought any Power Rangers toys. Like I've got back there. I've got like that Megazord letter opener thing that someone else got for me. But that Finster, I think I'm actually gonna buy it.
Yeah. Dude, it's sick. I already pre-ordered it. I missed out on the Ninjetti figures, so that kind of sucks. I was moving. But yeah, everything announced looks freaking awesome. And I don't know if you guys knew this, but Power Rangers is actually a toy brand that happens to have a TV show. So, I mean, the
So
TV show,
like He-Man and Transformers.
yeah, the TV show is just to sell the toys. Really,
I'm just saying.
the
I'm
Power
just
Rangers
saying.
is a toy brand.
This show is this franchise is 30 years old in
Darn
America.
near, darn near 30 years old.
Dang near 30 years old, and all they ever done is like toys, toys, toys. We supposed to be
That's the whole
celebrating.
point.
No, they do that anyway.
That's the whole
But
point of the
like
show.
we're supposed
The
to be
show
celebrating
exists
the
to sell the
franchise, and
toys,
they're celebrating by doing what? Doing
Selling
what they
toys.
already
giving
been
us
doing all year
kick-ass
long.
toys. Yeah,
Showing
that's
us
what the
what
whole
they've been
show is
doing all
for.
year long.
That's
I
the
mean,
whole
but
point of the
This is not a
show.
All right,
celebration.
let's get some other opinions here. In the chat, we've got Thomas Franco, Donnie Pearson, Edward Sanchez Productions, Jared Hodges, and Larry Newbill just came in. What do you guys think? Like,
hey,
what were you hoping to get out of Power Rangers Day or Power Month or whatever they're calling it? That
better
maybe
announce. Look,
that
look,
you're not getting, or are you happy with everything that you've gotten so far?
look. I'll say this: the announcements have pretty much been subpar. All right, because granted, yes, the Ninja Turtle figures look cool, but
There.
outside of that, the announcements
What
have.
other announcements were you expecting?
I don't know an update on what the franchise is gonna do.
You think they're going
Make
to? Okay,
more. They're
but
they're
that's
gonna make
bad
more
news.
series, and they're rebooting the
You
movie.
know, I
Yeah,
mean,
look,
that's like that's generally for the most part that's bad news that
I would
people
like.
don't want to hear on Power Rangers Day.
But
I would
The
even
fact that
rather.
they're not doing
they
Super Sentai anymore for a lot
they
of people
out
is
there
bad
they
news.
out there wasting time. We know season 2 Dino Fury's coming. They could have done some kind of short episode or whatever celebrating the franchise. Oh, it could have been a freaking clip episode, you know? Something they
We,
spent $2 to make, but they didn't even do that.
and
No,
we received.
you know what they could have done? They could have hired Zack Snyder to
Shut up,
direct.
Josh. Josh,
And
shut up. Shut up, Josh.
no,
Shut up.
no, but really, like, did you guys see the Superman 80th anniversary or 75th anniversary like short that he made?
Yeah.
No,
No.
I didn't.
It,
Can
I
you link
remember
that?
that.
it was
Yeah, I
it was
remember that.
actually really dope, and they could
I need
like
a
Corey's
link.
right. They totally could have made like a 5 or 6 minute short that kind of like was a history of Power Rangers type thing, and
Yeah.
it wouldn't have taken them any time at all. And I think it's something that the fans at least would have like really loved.
They could have even paid the old actors 2 cents and made a YouTube video like, tell us,
Okay.
reflect back on your time on the set. You know what I mean? That would have been nice.
That would have been nice.
Yeah,
give them
but
a few $100.
they don't
be
wanna
like, hey,
pay-
look back and be all like,
The
hey.
budget for Grid Connection was Austin St. John, and that's
No,
it.
I'm
Do you
not
think they're
even
going to
talking
fork
about-
out the money to pay
They
these
don't
actors
even
to
have
come
to
back
do-
and
they
do
could've-
something?
Use their freaking
Alright,
phone
here.
and be all like, hey, Hasbro,
Okay, so I just-
doing
And they're
this.
still
They
wanna
got,
get-
like,
gonna wanna get paid.
$230 or
I just
whatever,
posted in the
Hasbro
chat
wanna get.
that Superman 75th anniversary thing from 2013. You guys don't have to watch it now, but take a look at it and tell me that if they didn't do something like this for Power Rangers, that people wouldn't go apeshit for it. Like people would lose their minds. And it's something that's so easy that they could have done.
Is
But-
it
Perhaps.
a cartoon or something?
Yeah,
It's like
it's animated.
Yeah, it's an animated 5
You know what? I
5
probably
minute
did
short.
see that. It's just been forever. You said
And I guess the day isn't over yet. They could still do something. But I
They're
mean,
not
like
going
I
to.
said,
They're not-
I know
it's
they're not.
1:30. If they're going to do something, they would have been done it already.
It's 4:30 here on the
But
East Coast.
but like I said,
Yeah, the
we've had
day's over.
announcements all throughout the
day's
month.
over.
This whole month we've had announcements.
The month is
I think
practically the month is
announce
almost over.
toys by default. That don't count. That's like, that's
Not
like
this
Power
much.
Rangers on
They've
the air.
announced way
Oh,
more
for
this
Power
this
Rangers
month.
Day, we're going to show an episode.
They don't
of-
usually announce
You
this
already
much.
do that. You already
And the
do that.
episodes already have access to the episode on Netflix and on the YouTube Kids Power Rangers channel. So what's the point of showing Day of the Dumpster on YouTube anyway?
They show Day of the Dumpster.
Wait,
I mean, is that what you want to call today instead of Power Rangers Day? Do you want to call it the Day of the
You
Dumpster?
just call it Day of the Dumpster.
that's funny. That is funny.
Anyway, we are here to talk about episodes 12 through 15 of Power Rangers Time Force. 4 episodes today instead of the normal 3 because the third episode was part 1 of a 2-parter, so it just made sense.
Oh,
to
dang, we was
finish
doing
it out.
4 today?
Yeah, we doing 4 today, bro.
Oh, dang, I only
That
watched
was the
3.
message that I sent.
But you
earlier
already
this
know.
morning.
But Corey, you should already know because you watched Time Force like how many
Well,
times?
I had at this Q-Works episode, I basically have it memorized. But man, y'all was tripping over what favorite theme song of TV show that was blowing up, and I was trying to sleep. I cut my notifications off, so I haven't had no notifications since.
No, that was a good conversation.
Different
I was
channel.
like,
That
y'all
was a
leave me
different channel.
alone.
You know, it's like
Good conversation.
Discord. You know, like on Discord, you can look at different channels and have notifications set differently for.
It don't work on
on
my
Discord.
phone. I have to turn them all off because that's how I had it set, and my stuff just started blowing up.
I'm just gonna go with you being technologically inept then.
No, look here. I told you Microsoft is garbage software. All right.
Well, I mean, Teams is Microsoft, but Discord isn't. Works the same
Yeah,
way.
no, I'm talking about
Same thing.
Microsoft.
Same
Yeah.
thing.
Teams.
Whatever.
You know, it's all the same. Anyway, let's get into these episodes. Who wants to give us the rundown for Worlds Apart?
I'll do this
Back-
one.
Basic overview. You don't need to go
Yeah,
deep.
because
Just
you
go-
cut him
just-
off
yeah,
when he was
just give
doing
me-
this
give me
amazing
the
intro. I wanted to
basic
hear.
outline.
Yeah, cut me off.
Oh
during
yeah,
my-
we still gotta do Blackwing's intro.
No, forget it. The moment's
Yeah,
gone
You
since Josh
interrupted him.
Josh
earlier.
pulled a Kanye West on me. The moment's gone. So screw it. I'm not doing it anymore. I don't care. All right, so
Did we even introduce ourselves, or did we just start arguing with each other?
You know, we stopped at Blackwing, and then that was it.
They know who we are. I hope.
yeah. Well, trust me,
Maybe.
they know. They know Josh is the one that always asks all the annoying logical questions about this and that and this and that. They know Corey is the big MMPR fanboy, and they know Bryce is my partner in crime for Retro Sentai Wrap Up. So yeah, everybody knows us.
There you go.
Okay.
And it all centers around Blackwing. Yes. Okay. Continue.
Not really.
You the JDF of the show. How many,
No,
how
that's
many powers
Joe.
you got?
That's
How many
Joe.
suits
That's
got?
Joe's job. I'm not the JDF of the show. That's JDF of this team is Joe.
No,
Deckelman.
Joe's
that's
Phantom
pretty-
Ranger.
that's
That's all he
fairly
care about.
accurate.
He just show up and dip out whenever unexpectedly.
Exactly. There you go. He shows up when he's needed.
And that's not even wrong. So,
All right.
oh shit, it's Patrick Ranger.
Episode 12.
All right, episode 12, Worlds Apart. Basically, the big overview of this episode, Wes's father, Mr. Collins, has a new organization known as the Silver Guardians, who pretty much protects the city of Silver Hills for people who can pay for it.
Balling.
Bowling. And another thing in this episode, Wes reunites with an old school friend of his, Eric Myers. They both went to prep school together, but Eric quit because he felt like he was wasting his time. And he said he had...
Dan Southworth.
Yes, played by Dan Southworth. If you know him, he's also the voice of Virgil in Devil May Cry.
My favorite.
He did stunts on the Ranger shows too, didn't he?
Lightspeed Rescue Hills Blue Ranger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, sorry, continue.
And another special, I guess another prominent epic moment is that Wes's father figures out that Wes, his son, is the Red Time Force Ranger, and you get probably one of the most beautiful dialogue moments. Shut up, Corey! Stop shaking.
Well, I thought you was gonna compliment the broken visor. I was like, nah, no, you're not.
Hey, you'd already know Broken Visor and Sentai or Rangers. You know it's
no,
that's
they
true.
Power
That's
Rangers,
true.
it'd be cheap as fuck. It'd be
Whatever,
cheap.
whatever.
No, and the broken visor scenes. That's whenever you know shit's about to get real.
Broken Visor.
So
It never got real in
about
Power
to
Rangers
go.
for 30 years.
I mean, I can't argue with that.
Anywho,
I haven't like I'm what like 20 seasons behind, but I'm pretty sure I can agree with that point.
Yeah, the last time shit got real, Tommy was evil.
What about whenever a computer virus literally wiped out an entire planet? That was pretty real.
No, that was done through montage. We never seen.
Okay.
Yeah, but the butler died, and that was pretty real.
To be fair, none of it's real because all these are fictional characters.
All right,
look, what about whenever
Kendrick
died?
Show, sir.
I mean, okay. What about when you find out apparently
the episode with Sky's dad?
Oh, everyone's missing
the
fathers.
No.
Power Rangers ain't got.
He's not missing. He's dead.
Power Rangers got daddy issues.
But that's a trope that happens in all kinds of shows. Like
I'm just here to talk shit. That's my job.
That's superhero stuff. Is you have like an absentee or a missing father, or a father that was really a bad guy, and now the son or daughter has to prove that they're better than that's everything. Everything.
What about the mothers? None of them would be here without mothers anyway.
That's
Raven.
Josh. Like that's Raven from Teen Titans. Like
oh yeah, 100%. She keep her daddy in her forehead.
Right. Yeah. That's just a thing. All right. So let's talk about this episode. Outside of any, because I'm of course I've got like pacing and continuity issues and all that kind of stuff.
Let me back up real quick. Because the Rambite tank was last week, right?
Yeah, it was.
I just would like to mention that I love that thing.
Why?
Because it looks cool, man. What the fuck?
It's just a tank with a drill and it's like a battalion.
If you look closely, it's made from the Zenith Carrier Zord.
Okay, I wouldn't know that. Only you would know that.
I'd have no idea about that either. But yeah, so let's get into the drama from this episode. So Wes's dad decides that he's going to create basically not really mercenaries. I guess they're like a private security team.
Josh, tell her what you told.
Like
tell
the
her
crows on
told
Black,
me that you
Black,
called Wes's dad. Wes's dad is a what?
Oh, he's a total Trumper. He is a Trumper.
Yeah.
I didn't know if we were actually gonna go into that.
No, I just want him to say that.
I mean, if this shit was real, he would be like Mike Lindell. Like, like that dude is a nutbag.
It's a trap. Oh, dang, did I get his monotype? Because YouTube is going to pull that up.
Wes's dad be selling pillows up in here.
Legit.
Oh, my God.
like
Dude, yeah.
I'm assuming. I mean, don't correct me if I'm wrong, but I am going to assume that by the end of the series, Wes and his dad are going to have some sort of reconciliation, and they're going to come to have a better appreciation for each other and what their hopes and dreams in life are. But that's
I mean, he's not a bad guy, but he's a bad guy. No, he's just greedy and selfish.
He's just a greedy father.
Yeah, he's typical rich white old old white dude.
Yeah, but he can be. You can talk some sense into him and be like, you know what, you're right. He's one of those. It'll take a little bit, but you can get through. So he's not too bad.
He's gonna get it.
Yeah, well, and that's why I say I can see by the end of the season that there's going to be he's going to have a come to Jesus moment or whatever you want to call it.
This is also 2001 where people could actually be convinced that they were wrong. So
that's also a solid point.
Back when,
before social media,
Yeah, pretty crazy how that used to work.
MySpace
like
back
that.
then and Friendster.
I don't even think we had those.
What the hell is Friendster?
Oh, you too young for that one, boy.
Yeah, I've never heard of that one. I heard of MySpace.
I mean, yeah, I've heard of MySpace, but like Friendster, like what the hell is that?
Friendster was before MySpace. Friendster started all this craziness.
That was like Hot or Not.
Huh?
Hot or Not.
Hot or Not. Oh,
that was also a thing back then. So anyway, this this episode continued the storyline between Wes and his father that Mr. Collins had Wes's life entirely planned out for him, what he wanted him to do, and all that kind of stuff. Was this the episode where we got the flashbacks to the prep school too, or was that the next one?
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah,
that was this one. So
yeah,
one of I like the animosity between Eric and Wes. Like I think that is a good element of the story. We know just like from the voiceover that Eric had that he is sort of jealous of Wes because he's like, oh well, you're a typical rich kid, you've been handed everything in your life, you don't have to work for anything, and you don't know what you have. Like when
my thing with that though is like he's at prep school too, which
right.
means that he's got to have some sort of money himself.
No.
So I didn't really get that.
I mean, he could have gotten a scholarship or something.
Yeah, it's different versus like because I don't know if you watch the news or not, but these actors and they sort of cheat the test or rig the system so their kids could get into school. While Joe Blow over here bust his ass in high school to get into this fancy college,
but
that's kind of the difference that he's talking about.
But the point that Bryce brought up, that is one of my problems here, is that we don't know why Eric feels the way he feels. We just know that he has this sense of entitlement, but we don't know how he got that and why.
Privilege.
But it doesn't seem like.
But he's mad because he's not privileged.
Because he's not privileged and Wes is, and he's not taking advantage of the privilege that he has.
That's the thing. Wes don't want to be privileged. He wants to do it the hard way.
You want to be poor.
I mean, he doesn't necessarily want to be poor. He
doesn't want to be
poor.
He wants to be like everybody else. He don't want to be
clock tower. He's trying to be homeless. He's like, I don't want to do this, rich Steve. I don't want to sleep in a warm bed. Let me sleep on this wooden floor in the clock tower with my new homies for the future.
But to be fair to that, sometimes like I can't relate to that because I did not grow up in that kind of a lifestyle. But you kind of get tired of dealing with the same kind of stuff, and you want to forge your own path. And
yes.
And different people are willing to do different things in order to get there. Wes is willing to give up his money in order to do what he wants to do on his own terms, and you kind of have to respect that a little bit.
Yeah, I give it.
You have to. You have to respect it.
Yeah, Corey, you have to.
Really quick before we continue here, I just want to hop back over to the chat. I see you. Ian is here with us. And he's let's see who else is there. Metal Ryan Gaming, And CK88, I don't think I've seen you here before, but he says whoever was in charge of casting for this season hit home runs with damn near everyone they chose for Time Force.
I think that's true.
Especially
right.
with
Yeah.
Deborah Estelle Phillips.
Stop it, Corey.
I would have to agree. Not going so far as creepy Corey over here.
Get back in the cage.
But no, like everyone in this series, I feel is doing a really good job with their roles.
Mm-hmm.
For sure, yeah.
But so what do you guys think? Like, do we? I don't know if you know where Eric is coming from because of things that happen later, but at this point in the show, like, how do you feel about how he's kind of being portrayed?
He's an anti-hero. That's basically what he is.
Yeah.
Okay, but why?
He's like, okay, if you watch anime, there's always no. I can kind of explain this. When you have like a squad of characters, Corey, you could back me up on this. There's like that one character who likes to prefer to be, the lone wolf of the team.
Oh, like every Blue Ranger in Sentai.
So actually, it's interesting that you brought this up because I was thinking while watching this episode that Eric kind of reminds me of from the Netflix Ultraman, the kid.
Oh,
the
Dan?
kid who built his own.
Oh, the Ultraman.
Oh, Ace.
Ace? Was
Yeah.
it Ace?
Yeah.
Well,
Ultraman.
that's what he's based on. I forget his name though.
I forgot his name, but I didn't like him either. I didn't like him.
But he reminds me.
He's basically this. He's just like, oh, you rich motherfuckers, I'm gonna take your money because you being dickheads, and I'm gonna give it to the poor.
Yeah, that's basically him. Or I guess for a better, more easier analogy, think Kai from Beyblade. If you guys grew up watching Beyblade, Corey, I feel like you should back me up.
Nope.
Let it rip.
Hey, I was in the Beyblades for a little bit.
Damn.
Just a little bit.
Damn.
Hey,
Or-
you want to know a funny story? Like I was buying these Beyblades that I had no one to play with, right? So I played with my mom and she would always beat me. It made me so she was always beating me. I'm like, what are you doing? I would take her Beyblade and use it, and then she'll use mine, and then I will still lose. I was like, dang, I don't get it. That's what I gave up.
That is so funny.
My mom beat me in kid games. I was like, nah, never mind.
I mean, that would be the moment for me too. I'd be like, my mom beat me. Like, that's not something that I would admit publicly.
Hey, so it's just all for jokes. So I like to make a fool of myself for him.
Well, you do a really good job of it. So what about the villain from this one? This is another episode where Frax
X-Volt
pulls out a mutant, Univolt.
X-Volt, mutant from the X-Volt. Yes.
What did you guys think about this enemy?
I didn't care about it. It just felt,
X-Volt, this is like the best arc. This when Time Force gets interesting. I was like, man, if I gotta watch another episode of Time Force, I'm gonna quit. But I'm like, we have to. Oh, okay, I can ride through. I can get through this.
Corey, I
It's just a monster of the week. It was just a normal monster.
Corey,
But he blew a hole in the concrete. Did you see that? The other ones didn't do that.
Oh, and the visor off his. You're right. Yeah, he gave us a visor scene.
Remember?
Broken visor.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, broken visor. Oh man.
Real quick, some differences. The Silver Guardians, they have the initial CDG on the hats. In Time Ranger, they're called City Guardians, so that's why there's a C on the hat and not an S.
They called them in Time Ranger. I forgot, and I watched it. Time Ranger was last year.
And then what else in my notes? The broken visor.
Stop complaining about it.
It just looked so. Like, if you see this version in Time Ranger, like, it's broke way over here, and not just in the visor. Like, you know how they have the lights in the black part of the helmet?
Yep.
Like, you can see all of the inside of that. So it looked like he just got hit hard. And then Tatsuya was out. Like, he was just out. Like, is he dead?
Blood dripping from his head and everything.
Yeah. And then another thing that bothered me is, like, you see this. This is exactly what he looked like in the helmet.
Well, okay, Corey.
Is that you?
Corey.
dad is way over there.
Corey.
Wes, is that you? It's like, how do you see it?
I will agree with Corey on this one. I was watching this episode. It's just like I'm looking at him head on straight at the TV right now, and I can't tell who the hell that is.
I mean,
Yeah.
Right.
But to be fair,
His dad in the car with the windows up, and then he's like,
to be fair, all Superman has to do is take off his glasses, and no
Look,
one knows
Superman
who the fuck
has
he
an
is.
He's the first superhero, so
So that's the inverse.
None
He
of these
barely
people
shows his
would exist now
identity,
if it wasn't
and you
for
can tell.
Superman.
Like,
we gotta let him
Where'd
go.
you go? You know, it's like when you're playing peekaboo
Hey,
with a baby.
I'm not gonna lie though. I have a friend, and she took her glasses off, and I had no idea who she was. I was like,
Is that
So
you?
some people,
some
Some
people
people,
do.
yeah.
Some people look way different.
yeah,
He's not wrong
I-
with
yeah.
that.
But yeah,
He's not wrong.
they look different. But as soon as you start talking to them, you're like, oh, I know who the fuck.
Oh
you are.
yeah, I get you. And then also,
yeah. But Wes didn't say anything until his dad went, "Wes, is that you?" Like, you know.
Right. And then like that whole part, like they should have did ADR when he was talking to him, because it was just all this. And you hear him. It was very. Oh, Dad, I'm gonna make my
I
own
don't think.
destiny,
I mean, okay,
Come on.
I can agree that the ADR.
But I
you
mean,
can't stop me.
yeah, I'm kind of used to that now, talking through masks at people.
I
No,
mean, Corey,
but
I can see your
most
point,
of the time the talk is put in afterwards. But now he's talking in the mask, and it's being recorded, and you can hear it, and it sounds terrible.
Also, just this past year and a half, it has taught me anything. And just a mask like covering half of someone's face, you don't know what they look like.
Wait,
like
where we go?
So if you saw someone and you had only ever seen them wearing a mask.
Yeah. Oh, masks in general, yeah.
Just in
real
life.
We got two new coworkers. I have no idea what they look like because I only see them wearing a mask.
Right?
I don't know what they
And
look
when
like.
they take their mask off, you're gonna have
It's
no
like,
idea who they
whoa.
are.
Yeah.
Like that happened to me. That happened to me this week at the office.
So
Like,
shouldn't that be the same thing with Wes then? If he's got like a mask covering his whole face except for his eyes, then shouldn't nobody be able to tell who the hell he is?
I'm agreeing with you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
I
like
get
that.
you
That's
now.
a little bit
Yeah.
different than just wearing glasses or a visor, though.
Yeah.
That's literally covering like half your face.
Hey, did they use that orange gun yet?
Or yes, they did the electro booster. Yeah.
There we go. I like that gun. It's cool.
All right, so basically at the end of this episode, Mr. Collins offers Wes the job leading the Silver Guardians, and Wes is like, "Nah, not gonna do that."
I'm like, nah. I'm like, you don't get it. I'm not coming back to you. Like
You're
you
a
don't-
Power Ranger. Lead my team, son.
I'm like, you don't get it. I'm putting my life on the line. I'm doing this for free. I don't need money just to be happy. I got my
you
friends
made the
here.
Silver Guardians because we out here whooping ass for free.
Yeah.
That's my idea.
So what would you guys have done? Would you have been like, I get to do the same thing and get paid for it? Yeah, all right. Would you have done that? Or
Yeah, I
would
would've took it.
would you have stuck?
I would have
stuck with the
joined, I
original?
think. Yeah.
Look, I don't care how much money I would have made. I'll be like, nah, I'm saving the. I don't need to get paid to save the world. All right.
No, you gotta.
I
eat,
would like
bro,
to get
but you don't
paid
go
to
take
save
out
the world.
trash.
But you
I
can't
mean,
get
yeah, I
paid.
gotta eat, but look, it's called getting a
I-
job.
Here's the thing. I mean, there's benefits on both sides. I mean, I'm getting paid, right, to put my life on the line. That's pretty freaking sick. Second of all, I mean, you're helping the Silver Guardians, so instead of them always being in the way, you're a part of them, so you get to tell them what to do. So if Wes and the Rangers had joined the Silver Guardians, then they would have been able to tell the Silver Guardians what to do instead of them always messing everything up.
But like no spoilers.
This kind of goes into what we're about to talk about later
No
on.
spoilers. When we get there, we see how that works out.
Yeah, we see how. Yeah, we pretty much see how that works out. Anyway, that's basically episode 12, Worlds Apart. Let's get on to the introduction of the Quantum Ranger. Corey should take this one.
What?
Yes, I
no,
pass the
bro.
baton to you.
Huh?
Pass the baton to you. Second leg. Let's go.
Hey, I can't do a summary of this episode, man. You asked me to dig up something from a decade ago. All right, look, not Wes. Eric becomes the Quantum Ranger. Oh, okay, all right. Here it is. It's all coming back now. All right, they're at
I mean, you can just read the
archaeology
description
site.
that I
They
put
digging
in the
stuff up,
episode.
and then they find a metal box, and it's like, oh, what is this? It's a metal box. Is it alien? It's like, nah, bro, it's from the future. You don't know. And the Silver Guardians show up because there's a mutant there. Brickneck. It's my favorite.
He's a cool one.
Why?
I actually like him. I like
Why? Because his neck is made of bricks.
him.
Anyway, hijinks ensues. The Power Rangers show up, and then they're like, "Hey, Brickneck, give me back that device." And he's like, "No, Rangers," and things happen, and then they are at a factory. Stuff in between happens. It doesn't matter. Brickneck has a device. He's in the factory, because that's where cool things happen, and factories and shipping yards.
Yeah.
And then not West. I keep saying West. Eric is trying to get his hands on the quantum
Try saying that fast 3 times.
quantum
Controller.
box. And then eventually he gets it. He puts his hands in here. So a former friend of mine has that prop. I put my hand in there and nothing happened. I was like, dang. He has the American one.
You should put a mousetrap inside of it.
That will stop you.
That'll stop you from getting the
Eric
quantum powers.
Myers. I said no. And then Homeboy becomes a Quantum Ranger. Did you hear that?
What the?
I heard that.
Shut up.
That's my mama.
The one that beat you at Beyblade?
Yes.
Just bring her in here. Just bring her in here so she can tell us about it.
That was the episode.
You're missing a very important detail, though. So whenever at the very beginning of the episode, whenever they're in the villains are in their base or whatever, Nadira is watching the Masked Rider on the TV.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, she's watching Max Rider.
Look,
Wait,
when
is that what that show was?
yes.
Yeah.
But look,
That looked, because that
how
looked
can
so
she be
bad.
watching a TV show of something that exists within that universe?
First, no, right when that moment happened, when the channel got changed, she was like, "Oh, my show." I'm like, "Dear, please, that channel, the news just saved yourself the trouble of watching that."
Was Masked Rider an American show?
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
he was on.
Well,
he was on.
it was the same, like it was adapted.
Oh, okay.
It was adapted from Kamen Rider.
I thought that was like a sitcom that they filmed specifically for the show because it was so bad.
It has sitcom-esque to it.
Yeah, I mean, so basically it was adapted from Kamen Rider Black RX.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, and so, yeah, I don't know why they did that. Like, that was such a horrible idea. Like, it's like, it was literally, I mean, they kind of did the Mighty Morphin thing where it was like kind of a sitcom meets tokusatsu, but with the backdoor pilot that they did in Mighty Morphin, there was just like cool alien stuff. They were on a different planet, and then they just bring him to Earth. It's like, that's so lame.
It just made a left turn. It's
yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah. That's not what you showed us in Mighty Morphin. Yeah.
That's not what I wanted to.
Yeah.
Because it was Mighty Morphin, VR Troopers was cool, and then Max Rider came, and it's just like, what the F? And then Beetleborgs came, and then it's like, wait, hold up. And then it's like it got worse. And then Mystic Knights came out, and then it was like some kind of in between. It was cool, but it was still like
Cyber Squad.
Oh my God.
But that wasn't Saban.
That was Saban.
Yeah, I have the DVD over there. I got it last week. I can't find.
That's not canon, Josh.
Sorry.
Like, we're talking about all the things in Saban's cinematic TV universe.
Saban Cinematic Universe.
That's basically what it was. Ninja Turtles, Beetleborgs, VR Troopers.
Oh yeah, the next mutation.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Ninja Turtles.
We don't talk. That's the thing. Talk about it.
So I do have a question about some stuff that happened towards the beginning of this episode.
Hold on, I have a criticism real quick.
Uh-oh.
Okay. No.
So we're gonna be here for the next 30 minutes.
I just want your input on which is better. So when Eric does and it makes the loud metal noise?
Yes.
And in Time Ranger, it's a lot softer. Because when I first heard it,
that's the most nitpicky thing I've ever heard.
No, listen. There's a theme to it. There's a theme to it, and this is why I have problems with Time Ranger. Like it sounds like like plastic. So I'm thinking like, oh, that's what it sounds like if you just went up to a suit and knocked on it, because they spark. But then when I really thought about it, it sounded like a ticking clock.
Yes,
So
he's
like
basically he's counting.
Yeah, it's the whole Time Ranger thing is just like tick tock, and he's like, "Where are you?" And if you heard that and you just heard tick tock, it's like it will kind of freak you out just a little bit. But then you hear this freaking sledgehammer thing in Time Ranger, boom, boom. This is like so extreme. But you get what I mean?
Yeah, my opinion on that is he should have been like tapping one of the bars on the thing that he was standing on.
No, but that
would have made more sense than him like just like standing there like hitting the back of his glove.
He does that when he's not morphed in his glove. It's just like bring.
That just looks so stupid.
Yeah, but what the point I'm trying to make is they take out all the sort of themes and small little cues that make the show cool when they do Power Rangers. Because that would have been cool if he just like tick, and that was just always his thing. It's like, oh, here comes a Quantum Ranger.
Yeah.
Clock is ticking. You better run, motherfucker.
Yeah, see, that would have made sense.
Your time is up.
It's like one here. It just felt like some like giant clanging noise meant to distract them. And I'm like, what? I
guess it's meant to be like a loud sound, like the gears of a clock. I guess that's the point of it. Because I never thought of it.
That's not what it sounded like, though.
Okay, if you're inside, if you're inside, if you're inside like a big old clock and you hear the gears turning and grinding,
but they weren't inside of a big old clock. They were in a factory.
I'm speaking metaphorically, Josh.
No, it wouldn't even sound like that because it would sound more like a click, 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 with the gears kind of going click, 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 click.
Like
it's louder.
It should have just sounded like this. Like that's what it would have sounded like because he was just doing this.
Fair enough.
That's pretty epic.
I can understand Corey's point though, because it actually makes sense. Like you hear that loud noise and be like, "What's that sound?" I'm like, "Oh shit, it's a quantum!" Let's go.
Or like if his morpher thing had a clock on it, and you just saw him like standing there like tapping it, that would have been better too, because you would have gotten the idea of what was going on. To me, that whole thing was just dumb. I kind of overlooked it because I was like, whatever, it's Power Rangers, but it just.
It's just like being cool for the sake of being cool, but there's no real reason.
But it wasn't.
That's the point of 6 Ranger debut episodes. They're meant to make them look the badass. They have to have the badass entry. And also one funny note, when they're fighting Brickneck, Lucas is like, "Come on, guys, we can't give up. Nobody's too strong for the Power Rangers." And Brickneck's like, "Allow me to introduce myself. I'm no one, and I'm too tough for the Power Rangers."
That was pretty funny. That was a good line.
One sec, really quick. Ian says that we should bring your mom on the show and have you guys play Beyblade.
Oh, no, God. Thanks.
Dude, yeah, guest appearance.
And
well, if Corey can't make it one day, we'll just bring his mom.
Morphin Time joined us as well. Says, "Hey you guys, hey, what's up? Thanks for coming along." So by the end of this episode, Eric obviously is the Quantum Ranger, and he's like, "No, I'm not going to give up this power. This is what I want. This is who I am now. It's mine. Come take it." And the episode ends with them kind of like staring each other down, and then like this really cool looking like a shot of the two of them like standing up like apart, and then their faces like superimposed on top of them.
I'm not gonna lie, it definitely looked like they were gonna kiss.
Oh my God!
I mean, that looked like a scene from like an early like a mid '80s or early '90s like showdown episode of I don't know. Back then it would have been something like like Dynasty or something. You know,
like if Wes and Jen don't work out, I can definitely see Wes and Eric kind of being a thing.
Speaking of showdown, that's when he had his back turned. And then he dropped down and he shot him. After he turned around, they did the duel, and then he shot him. He like because he kind of yeah.
But we're not at that episode yet, Corey.
We're not.
No.
That's Clash for Control.
This one.
No, that's like close to the end of the season. And I know what part you're talking about. That's not in this episode.
Are you sure?
Bro, that it's like at the end.
You're
I
talking
didn't
to the
watch
Time
this one.
Force super fan right now.
My internet
Okay.
was tripping, so I was like, I remember this. Let's just get through it. So I mean,
Anywho, but yeah,
Okay.
Eric is the Sixth Ranger. That end
Quantum
shot
Ranger.
is basically, not hinting, pretty much says we got two Red Rangers in the show.
What was
Rival.
One is red and one is quantum. Get it right, sir.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Corey.
That's
Thank you
not
for
a
adding
color.
that in.
Then how do you explain he's in Forever Red?
Because they
Oh.
needed 10 and they skipped Die Ranger.
his uniform is red.
His uniform is red.
And as of the next episode, he's the leader of the Silver Guardians.
Yeah, he got promoted.
So-
He got power. That's how things work in this country.
Pretty much.
Right, so let's talk about this episode. Clash for Control. We're just merge both part 1 and part 2 together. There's no point in really splitting them up.
I don't like the name Q-Rex. It's dumb.
Well,
So you
it's
prefer
Qantas-
its Sentai
Qantas
counterpart where it's called V-Rex?
V-Rex. Victory Rex. Because you always gonna win.
So first, let me say that Commando Con sounds like it's a convention about Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. I mean, like I'm imagining like the LA Convention Center just filled with cosplayers that are dressed up as his character from the first
G.I.
Predator
Joe.
and from Commando
I would say
Yeah.
G.I. Joe.
and the Last Action Hero.
Just like war movie convention.
But
Oh.
no, just Schwarzenegger action movies.
Oh, I just realized as I was watching the part 1 portion, Josh, how you always kept questioning, is there time travel in this episode?
Finally,
Well, yeah, here's your answer.
finally.
Here's your answer.
But okay.
Actually, it's in every episode because the Zords come.
The
from
Zords don't.
Yeah, Josh. Yeah,
The Zords don't.
it's in every episode.
the Time Warp Megazord.
Yeah, but that you
Logic.
know that's not what I'm talking about though.
I know. This is what Josh was talking about. Like, when it was like, the show's called Time Force, where we're going to get the time travel? Well,
So,
here you go.
Okay, so first question:
Yes.
where did the ship that Eric used to go back in time come from?
Toys.
So that's when you
Toys.
just get shit. They just
Toys.
come out of nowhere.
the answer, toys.
Yeah, right. But
TF Eagle.
in the show, like, how did he get it?
Toys.
Yep.
Called it.
Boys.
TF Eagle.
TF Eagle called it. Shows up.
Right. But what was that? Is that a Quantum Ranger?
Oh my
thing?
gosh, Josh, the answer is toys. It's a toy exclusive. It's American only. If you see it and it's only in
but
America.
where is it kept? Because is it kept in a V-Rex or does it come from the future?
I don't know.
That's exactly what my question is. Like where did it come from?
Yes. The answer is yes.
I'm assuming it comes from because his battle booster comes from his Zord.
Oh my gosh.
But
You're
he
gonna
didn't have the Zord yet.
have me look this up.
Oh, that's true. Because it's like
he got that to go back in time to get the Zord.
That's true.
But because they sent both the controller and the Q-Rex through time, but they both got separated. So that's a different.
You know what would have been cool? If they found the TF Eagle in the archaeology site and then that had the morpher in it.
That was my question from the last episode. So this is a stupid nitpick, but in the very beginning, after they found the quantum box thing, and then there's the news story about it. The
news story.
Yeah.
It's on the news.
Yeah, it was on the news that they found it, but they had it in a laboratory, and that's where they were dusting it off and doing all that kind of stuff. But then when you go back for it for when the monster was going to steal it, they were back at the cave where they found it.
Oh, that's just Power Rangers because no one apparently knows how to edit.
Pretty much.
It was a weird. I was like, wait, how did they get it? Why did they take it back to the dig site after bringing it to the laboratory to study it?
Speaking of origins, the Quantum Ranger, they just skipped over that in Time Ranger, but they skipped over that in Time Force, but in Time Ranger,
they explain it.
Yeah, he's the prototype for all of their suits.
That
Yes.
makes sense.
Yes, it is.
So he's basically Ranger Zero. I think he has a zero. No, the V-Rex has a 6 on it. Yeah, but basically he's the prototype Ranger. That's why he's like, don't use it; it's dangerous. But they never tell you why in Power Rangers.
So one other question. The Time Force Rangers. like we had been discussing them, in the first couple of episodes, and why like there weren't any other Rangers out there.
Mm-hmm.
But this kind of sets up that the Time Force Rangers are also man-made Rangers, that they didn't come from the grid, that this was technology that was developed by.
I mean, they're linked to the grid, but they're not like Dino Fury. Here's powers.
Right. It's not like the Mighty Morphin or like any of the previous outside of Lightspeed. It's not like
they have a connection to the grid. You can't be a Power Ranger if you're not connected.
Connected to the grid.
These were created by people, not by the actual grid itself.
Morphing.
The Morphin Masters. Yeah. So I thought
this is like Lightspeed Rescue before it.
Yeah. That's what I said. That this is the second season in a row where it's man-made.
I never thought of it that way, but that's a good point. Yes.
So that just kind of seemed interesting to me, and I like that kind of aspect of it, because that's like okay, well, people
SPD,
can't do this.
Jungle Fury, Ninja Storm, Tommy Hackton. No, not Tommy. What's that girl's name in Dino Thunder? Tommy's
Professor Tommy.
Haley.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? I used to be like, Tommy, he was racing cars. How did this motherfucker become a doctor all of a sudden? But then in Mighty Morphin, I forgot he was doing a science project on something like biology, and I was like, there it is.
I like JDF, but I buy him being a scientist the same way that I buy Mark Wahlberg being a robotics engineer in the last movie.
He didn't need to be a teacher. I mean, like, he could have been somebody helping the team. Like, the roles could have been reversed. Well, like, Haley the dude could have been the mentor, and then it's like, hey, where you get all this Power Ranger stuff from? And then here comes JDF.
Yeah,
my whole thing.
He could have been the Power Rangers expert that provided that information to allow her to do the things that she needed to do to build the.
Well, my whole thing with it is that the dude graduates in 96, decides to become a race car driver, and sometime in between 96 and 04, he becomes but in between 96 and 04, he becomes a doctor, right? That's a lot of freaking school.
He went to college. And
but then he becomes a doctor and then decides to become a high school teacher.
That's 7 years of schooling though. Like that's regular college plus 3 years for your doctorate.
Yeah.
That's 7 years.
Well, I'm just saying, like, why the hell would he go through the trouble to become a doctor in paleontology to become a high school teacher?
I miss being a Green Ranger. Let me get into this paleontology.
I don't know. Sting went from being an English teacher to being, Sting. So.
Sting, the wrestler?
The singer.
The singer.
Oh. I was like, whoa. I was like,
from you too.
Oh, okay. Got it.
I knew exactly who Josh was talking about.
Oh, sorry. I was thinking WCW.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of too. I was like, whoa, really?
I mean, however, to be fair, Hulk Hogan was a bank teller before he got into professional wrestling.
He was a bank teller?
He was a bank teller.
That is hilarious.
Chris Pratt lived in his car.
Dr. Tommy Oliver is not believable.
Yeah,
that'd
be like Hulk Hogan being a scientist. I'm just not gonna buy it.
Anyway, back to the episode.
Back to Time Force.
Back to these episodes. The only thing that bugged me about this was the time ship just kind of coming out of absolutely nowhere.
Remember, toys, American exclusive toy.
But I still you know how I am.
I mean, they still could have explained it a little better.
A throwaway line, I just needed one line in the show just to explain where
it worked because I bought the TF Eagle that week when I seen it. I miss it though. I got rid of it. I miss it so much.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
You get it off of eBay.
The dinosaurs didn't look that bad. I mean,
yeah, I know, right?
I mean, it wasn't like Jurassic Park, but
I was waiting for you to make a Jurassic Park reference.
Like they kind of.
Well, did you guys notice that the main paleontology or archaeologist guy, his name was Dr. Hammond?
Yeah.
The same as Jurassic Park.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Too bad Tommy was around the roundhouse kick the Tyrannosaurus stuff.
Oh my god.
Yeah, right.
That didn't happen for like a
Roadhouse.
from this point.
But But no, like they kind of looked a little like Ray Harryhausen-ish, like
Well, then, it's funny though,
Clash of the Titans
because I think the dinosaurs in Time Force look better than the dinosaurs in Dino Thunder, which was like 3 years later.
Yeah, three years prior.
Yeah. So.
Oh, I have so much. I don't hate Dino Thunder, but I just have a lot of questions because there's just holes everywhere. They bring them up. They bring them up, and then they just like whoop. Because one of the Rangers asks like, "Hey, why you got the ruins of something under your house?" That's not important. Never talked about it.
Well, it's kind of like the ghost say, like, "Hey, why am I the Green Ranger now?" It's like, don't worry about it. Go fight the bad guys.
I mean, that was my complaint all the way through Lost Galaxy was how are there 10,000-year-old caves on a space station?
Hey, I covered that. All right, I gave you a theory.
But what I'm saying is it's the same thing though.
Yeah.
I was about to ask that theory, but then again, I don't want to hear it.
Hey, look! The Lights of Orion created decoys all over the galaxy to keep people off his trail.
Anyway, back to the past.
It's real.
My Google Home just had like a stroke or something. I don't know what the hell just happened.
What?
My Google Home just randomly started talking to me.
I thought someone had a stroke and you're laughing.
I was just like Shay and I were just like having a conversation last night. My phone was sitting like 5 feet away from me, and it just started like, I can't understand what you're asking. Please repeat your question. I'm like, I'm not asking you anything.
I hate that. I really hate that. Or like I'm like same thing that could happen to me. I could be watching a YouTube video and it's some in the video something says okay. It's just like Google. I wasn't talking to you.
I have an Apple HomePod. Apple HomePod.
Listen, I've got a Mac Mini now, so I do have an Apple.
I've got an iPhone. I mean,
Congratulations, you two. I'm proud of you. Welcome
the Mac Mini is just gonna be sitting in its box until I go back on set again.
Oh well, that's disrespectful.
That's unfortunate. Anyway,
I've got this.
The PC.
But I can't see it. I'm delayed because I only still see your forehead on the thing.
Next.
So I have to wait on the YouTube to see.
He's talking about the PC, Corey.
Oh,
you can see the fans for it.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, so Wes and Eric are in the past. They are racing against Commandicon to get to the Q Rex Zord. But Commandicon gets there first. He does something. He does like some weird bibbity bobbity boo thing and puts it under his control. And then sends it back to the future, and it starts tormenting the city. And then Eric actually gets control of it by saying, "You will obey me," or something like that. And
of course, Max Blizzard.
No change.
Basically, by the end of these two episodes, one of my favorite scenes though here was I think it was in the last episode, not in these two, where Eric went up to Mr. Collins and was like, "Hey, I should be the new leader.
Let me lead.
Let me lead the team. I got the quantum morpher, so I'm."
And Mr. Collins was like, "I don't know who you are.
I don't know you.
I'm like, I don't know the person.
Here, you lead."
But then by the end of this episode, he's like, "Yeah, okay, you're in charge now." He still
You
doesn't
got a big ass robot.
I was like, I got the morpher. I got the Q-Rex. Can I lead the team?
Mr. Collins knew he was playing them. He's like, "Nah, you're a Power Ranger, but you ain't got a Megazord."
He's like, I need Rangers who control Megazords. Not I need Rangers who control.
Yeah, you may be a Power Ranger, but do you have a Megazord? You guy.
So this episode brought a little bit more question into Eric's motivations, though, because we had Mr. Collins, who went to the clock tower to offer the other 4 Rangers positions working for him in the Silver Guardians, and Eric thought that they were going to accept.
Yeah, because that just shows that he assumes that his friends will just take up the offer.
Yeah, that was a cool team though with him leading.
Oh, cool! What if scenario?
Yeah.
But like it makes me curious about his frame of mind and how he thinks things actually work in the real world.
He's power hungry. That's Eric. He's power hungry. That's
there are
basic.
people like that. This kind of delusional thinking things are always going to go their way until they just.
I mean,
nope.
That's. social media again. Is proof of that. You just read like any number of tweets from people from like the who think the Snyderverse is going to be brought back, or people who think Power Rangers is going to go in this one specific direction.
Josh, I'm sorry. I pity the people that keep saying, "Oh, the Snyderverse is coming back." I'm like, keep dreaming.
Like,
No,
I mean, I loved
change it, and they're just gonna.
I loved Zack Snyder's Justice League, but at least I'm a sane individual who knows that the Snyderverse is
it's not
done.
coming back.
You know,
I'm just like,
yeah.
My thing is, I feel like I mean, this is not really applicable to what we're talking about now, but I feel like a lot of them are fans of Zack Snyder, not necessarily fans of DC, but they like the DC movies that he made. But so it just doesn't make sense to me that they wouldn't be like, oh look, dude's working with Netflix now. Our Army of the Dead was a dope movie. We've got this prequel coming out. We've got another series coming out. He's making another movie for Netflix. Let's go and support those movies and watch those, and let Warner Brothers do whatever the fuck they want to with DC stuff now. But they're just like constantly just like going at it. And I'm like, I just don't understand. Same thing.
Just don't.
Better to do, man.
It's the same thing with the Power Rangers fans, though. Not all of them, but there's that group who's just like, no, you got to keep adapting the Sentai stuff. I'm like, why?
Like, why?
Like,
I don't want to see Zenkaiger over here. It's gonna be the worst thing ever.
Bro.
If the new,
I don't want to see it out over here.
Corey, I was in a group chat. Someone suggested like they should do Zenkaiger for the 30th anniversary. Like, nope, keep that in Japan. We don't need no Zenkaiger.
You're gonna have to make a whole new suit. Homeboy got a 45 on his head.
Yeah, how are you gonna explain that? Make it into a 30?
You're gonna have to use American footage. You might as well make a whole new show.
Well, and that's my thing. like my whole thing. I know we've had this discussion before, but just for the sake of
hey, we got $5 from Miss Nolan.
Thank you, Layla. We appreciate it. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, sis.
We'll hope
Sorry,
you,
I had a
hope you had a good day at work, or if you didn't, congratulations on being home now and not having to deal with it anymore. This is my thing, and maybe some of you guys in the chat can shed some light on this, because I don't think I've actually ever really gotten a good answer about it. If your whole thing with wanting the American adaptations of the Sentai series is just because you like the suits, which I know is a good deal of the people that are here, why aren't you just happy watching the Sentai stuff? Like, why does it have to be adapted if you're just getting the suits and the story is going to be different because they're modifying everything? If you get new, like all new American versions of the show, then you're just getting extra content. Like, this is just like new stuff that you get to watch. So I
said something like this. I basically said that, like, this is like around the time when Ninja Steel was airing, because of course back Ninja Steel, it sucked, and I was like, like, if I had to drop Power Rangers completely, I don't mind. I was just like, I'll just watch Sentai and Kamen Rider for the rest of my life.
Right, you have the Japanese versions, and obviously they watch them because they're like, oh well, no, we like these suits, or we want this, or we want that. I'm like, well, you've seen it already.
Exactly.
I don't know. Some of them I bet haven't even watched it, and they're just complaining.
Yeah.
Like honestly, that's all. Because I mean, a lot of the Sentai isn't easily accessible. Like, you really have to look for it, and so I think a lot of these people are. I think. I guess that could be another argument on their behalf. Is like, it's not easily accessible, so this is the only way that they see it. But I still side with you, Josh. Yeah.
If it's not easily accessible,
yeah.
And you're not seeing it to begin with, what difference does it make if you're getting new suits? As long as the show is good, that's all that should matter.
Yeah, and I agree. Yeah.
I just don't. It's one of those things I don't understand. But it's the same thing with the Star Trek people.
There's
the Star Wars people and like everyone. It's like just make me good stuff. If it's a good quality show, I will enjoy it, and I don't care about anything else. That's all that matters.
There are a few Power Ranger shows that shouldn't have been adapted that have been. So that's just
Corey, you actually wanted them to skip some seasons back in the day?
Yeah.
They should have skipped Gal Ranger.
Hey,
you better leave Wild Force alone.
I don't know. Let's
you better leave it alone.
We'll come back to this in a second. Let's finish out this episode. I mean, really, we kind of wrapped it up already, but
I want to say one more point about this
yeah.
episode. With you know how Eric was when the Rangers came and they were like, "Oh, Wes, you're here, you're still alive," and Eric was like, "I don't know why you're happy to see him." I'm like, "You're supposed to be working with me." You're like, "You're supposed to be working with me," and he's walking away. I was like, "Good luck, Power Rangers. You're gonna need it." And he just like, I don't know, just by some guilty conscience, he actually shows up to help them. It's like, I got it. Like, if they get control of the Q-Rex, what can I do? It's just like, oh. So you see that you really need them, but you just don't want to admit it. You're stubborn.
Right. Well, and that's like, okay. So over these 4 episodes that we watched today, while again I have issues with some of the fine like yeah, I'm not gonna even say nitpicks, but just issues with like weird pacing or just weird editing type stuff or overall story themes. I like Eric as a character. Um, I think they've done a good job of setting him up, even though they haven't really given us a reason for why he is the way he is. That's really my only complaint, is that we don't know why Eric is the way he is. Corey?
I can't remember. The Q-Rex doesn't combine with the Megazord, right?
Never does.
Huh. I'm just 20 years later, I'm like, why they never did that? That was never a thing.
I do like the way this Zord looks though too.
Yeah.
Yeah, a singular Zord, singular.
It's a nice design, but the actual toy is just kind of
clunky.
Like, yeah.
I seen the toy design. I seen the toy design. I know what he means. It is kind of clunky.
I think I just kind of like the Zord because it's a T-Rex with lasers on its shoulders.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just dope. And completely unrelated, my first year of in film school, one of the first couple of days in one of my writing classes, we were assigned to write to team up with someone else from our class, and each of us had to introduce the person that we got teamed up with through like a 5-page story that we wrote about them to introduce them to the class. So, basically, hey, let's get to know everyone in the class. And we're going to get to know everyone by this 5-page script that someone else is going to write about you. So I dude that I'd met before we had started classes that I knew through friends of my sister who had already been at the school. He had to leave early for something, so the teacher was like, "Well, you guys know each other already. Why don't you just like team up after class, and you guys can write your thing, and we'll talk about it next week." So I was like, "All right, cool." So the story that I wrote about him is that he was driving down the street in his car trying to find something to listen to on the radio, and a time portal opens up in front of him, and he gets sucked into like this feudal Japan type area. And
sounds like a Sentai episode.
He's sitting in his car like what the fuck's going on, and like Jurassic Park type style, thump thump thump, and he sees his glass like start shaking, so he gets out of his car and he starts looking around, and it's Tyrannosaurus Rex with lasers on his shoulders, just like stomping around, stomping on people, like shooting lasers out everywhere. And by the end of the script, he ended up like jumping on the back of the T-Rex, taking control of it, and saving the village. But then I saw this, and I was like, huh. That's funny.
Like, this reminds me of a script I wrote back in film school.
Had never seen this before, but it's the same thing. I was like, that's exactly what the T-Rex would have looked like.
Who
knows? Maybe Time Ranger copied you.
Maybe. Well, no, because I went back. I didn't go to. This was my second time through college, so this was like 2008. Not like 2000 when I would have been there the first time.
Gotcha. But the year I was born, by the way.
2008?
No, 2000.
If he was born in 2008, he wouldn't even be allowed on here. No offense, Bryce.
That'd be funny as hell.
I mean,
how old would that person be?
13.
2008 to 2020. 13.
Here, let me. To a 13-year-old.
Sheesh.
Okay.
Who let this boy on this show?
Like, who let this child on?
I really love Power Ranger Time Warps. That's probably what it would sound like if I was 13.
It's the best show ever.
Why do I think that? Why do I think that that's your actual voice and you're changing it so you sound older?
That would be hilarious. Yeah. I just normally was like, "Hi, I would like to file my tax returns." Like, yeah.
All right, back to talking about Eric. What do you guys? What do you bless you? What do you guys think about?
Hey, look here,
like his character?
Miss Nolan over here talking trash about Power Ranger Samurai. She needs to be escorted out of the chapter.
No, she actually has a point because Shinken.
No, she doesn't. I mean, it was adapted weird, but it was still good. It's better than.
I think people give Samurai a bad rap. I think Ghost Sager is definitely the one where it's like there was no reason to adapt this because they should have just skipped to Ghost Rider.
I mean they started off fine, but then they decided to become pirates. It's just like whoa.
Yeah. Well, that's why I think they should have just been Gokaiger the whole time.
I thought they were going to use the cards and then just kick the pirates out. They would have had weird pirate Zords. It would have been fine, but use the cards to change into other Rangers. That's what I thought it was going.
You know, Corey, you actually kind of make an actually excellent point because the pirate suits were nowhere in the legendary battle at all. So
yeah,
if it helps, I have no idea what either of you guys are talking about.
Don't worry about it. You don't worry about it.
You're not there yet. We're gonna get there.
Okay.
Maybe.
So back to Time Force. Eric, what do you guys think about his character, or what
He's
we've
one of my
seen of him
favorite
up through now?
I mean, from the many times I watched this, I love Eric's character. I love his development. You're gonna see that a lot, especially close to around the end. And you're gonna see that he's not really just, this power hungry dude. He's like, he's actually a dude with, he has a heart. He just has.
I would assume again because it's
Power
Power Rangers, like Mr. Collins, Eric is going to see the error of his ways and just be like, oh, okay, well now I'm a real good guy.
Hey, did Alex show up with his little metal ball yet?
Corey.
Huh?
Corey.
Corey.
I missed the week.
I don't need to know about what you do with your metal balls. Like that's just not.
But I said balls, not balls.
Corey.
Balls.
Still TMI.
And it's not even a spoiler. It doesn't.
Yes, it is a spoiler.
It's not a spoiler.
It is a
because
spoiler.
nothing happens with that thing, and that's something I want to bring up. That's why
I don't care. Just hush.
I know the link. I know the link you want to make, but that link is not made.
Whatever.
They never touch on it. It's
Whatever.
an assumption.
Whatever.
That's why I give this show shit.
Okay, so we're now on episode 15. We're a little bit less than halfway through the series. In 5 episodes, we'll be halfway through.
Yes.
So basically next week. Corey, just because I know that you're not a big fan of this series, watching it through again, have your feelings on it changed at all? Or are
Of course not. Of course not.
Or are you noticing anything different that you're like, okay, maybe this isn't as bad as I thought it was?
Yeah, it's not as bad as I thought it was because back then I was a Sentai purist. I'm like, why are they changing their names? Quantosaurus Rex, what the f is that?
I find how you and me are the exact opposite because I was always such a Power Rangers purist. Dude, I changed my ways.
It's backwards. What?
Dude, I changed my ways though. I changed my ways. Trust me, I changed my ways. So I can understand the whole thing and be like, what is this Sentai stuff? They've taken this from Power Rangers. Why do they do that? So trust me, I changed.
Okay.
People change. You should know that.
Yeah. I've changed a lot.
I don't know. What about you guys? Bryce, like how do you feel about the series so far?
I mean, I was kind of I don't think it's like the best like everyone else does. Like it's up there. It's definitely not number 1. I think it's a top 10 season for sure, but it's not.
Corey.
Okay, Corey.
Corey, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
And I would honestly like to hear Corey's top 10, but it's
we'll have him make a list.
No, I already know. Yeah. And I already know what's at the top of that list.
It's Mighty Morphin season 1, 2, 3, Alien Rangers.
The first 3 of mine.
but I like it. I like Time for It. I like Time for It.
Jonathan, what about you? I know this is one of your favorite series, but watching it through this time, are you noticing anything different, or have your feelings towards any of the aspects of it changed from what?
Nothing has changed, especially since I already rewatched the season earlier in the year. So no, nothing's changed.
For me, honestly, out of the the
Wait,
three-
actually, hold it. Actually, when Corey explained about that one episode that he hates so much, I could say my not really appreciating, but my thoughts about that episode. I can understand where he's coming from because he actually did have a legitimate reason for not liking it. Because the reasoning and the plot line for that episode, I can understand. It was kind of all over the place.
weird, yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that this is out of the three seasons that I've watched now, out of In Space, Lost Galaxy, and now well, actually no, I guess this is the fourth, Lightspeed Rescue and Time Force. This is one of my 4 favorite series.
So what's
That
four?
is hilarious.
So what's at the top?
Get
Oh
it?
wait.
Because he's only watched 4.
Oh yeah, because you only
Get
watched
it?
four.
Oh, okay, I get it. I was like, whoa, hold up.
Right.
No, but for real, I'm enjoying. So far, I'm enjoying it. I like certain things that this season is doing better than In Space and Lost Galaxy did. I liked Lightspeed Rescue, but I liked In Space and Lost Galaxy a little bit better just because of the more sci-fi aspect of those. The whole thing with the trains in Lightspeed, I was just kind of like, whatever.
Super Train Megazord.
Yeah, it didn't speak to me on a level of like the kind of stuff that I'm normally into, where Lost Galaxy and In Space did.
I wish Elle was here. I wish Elle was here so she could say her opinions on all the seasons so far.
This
Elle's
maybe,
busy
maybe we can get her to do a video. I'll hit her up.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
This season so far, I think, has one of the more developed storylines from any of the last 3 seasons.
Yeah.
Corey, shut your mouth.
From the last
Yeah.
3, between In Space, Lost Galaxy, and Lightspeed Rescue.
Wait, the more developed stories?
This season has a more, so far it has a more developed storyline than the other 3 did at this point.
I
in the
agree.
series.
I agree.
Okay, I gotta
Are you
agree.
gonna disagree? This is supposed to be your favorite season.
Develop.
That's a good thing.
Wait, no. You saying more developed story over the past 3 seasons that you watched?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At this
Wait,
point
you
in the
think
show,
storyline is more developed than the past 3? Like more developed than In Space?
at this point in the
I think so.
point, by episode 15,
Power Rangers in Space is this weird,
Dude. Yeah.
this weird turning point where they're still being Power Rangers Turbo, and they realized they needed to evolve. So there's still some bullshit early in the beginning of Power Rangers in Space, and then it became.
Well, yeah. I mean,
once they get
it's
to
literally...
Lost Galaxy, it's like, oh, we figured it out.
Yeah, I think with this,
Yeah.
I think I feel more like I don't really feel connected to any of the characters, to be honest. But I feel like the characters this season have more of a personality and are developing their characters more than they did in Space or Lost Galaxy.
I like how Trip tried to pick up.
Lightspeed Rescue is still kind of, because I liked the characters in Lightspeed Rescue, but I think these characters are more defined here.
Okay, I see what you mean.
That doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to end up being better, or that that I'm going to end up liking it better than any of those other ones. I just think that these characters have more developed personalities than the previous shows.
Understandable.
At least out of those 3. Going forward, after what's next after Time Force?
Wild Force.
Wild Force.
I don't know how I'm gonna feel about that one, but
oh boy,
it's amazing. I love it.
I don't like Wild Force.
You think I go nuts for Time Force? Oh boy, wait till you hear me go nuts about Wild Force. Oh boy,
dude.
Oh
boy. Wild Force is so stupid.
Get him out of here.
Get out!
I do not like Wild Force at all.
Get out! Get out!
No,
I don't think I've ever even seen Wild Force in full.
It's funky. It's funky, but there are no holes in it. Not one.
It has a little.
I don't believe you.
There's not one hole in it, because basically the script is Gal Ranger. Even some of the lines from the script is just like verbatim in the Sentai. So I was like, they just took it and
I'll just say Wild Force has a massive speed bump in the middle. Right in the middle.
Yeah, a little speed bump, not a massive one, just a little boom.
Although I do think it's cool.
And then a human dies.
What? I think the only cool part about Wild Force is that MMPR Toys worked on it. Otherwise,
Homeboy was there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Did he work on it, or was he just hanging out?
No, I don't remember. I don't know what he did or what he was hired on to do, but he was working on the show.
For real?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who is that?
Josh Clueless. Like, I don't know.
He's a YouTuber. He's a YouTuber.
Yeah, well, I know who he is, but
okay.
in relation to the series, I'm like, I don't know. Anyway, I think that will really do it for us for these 4 episodes of Power Rangers Time Force. Again, overall, I enjoyed them. I thought they were good. Typical issues. Yes, Corey.
Yes, Corey, is there something you'd like to share with the class?
Just to address Miss Nolan about Samurai, like the only thing about Power Rangers Samurai is that they should have explained why this American is leading a team while a whole team of samurais are American. But that's the only thing they should have mentioned. And all they had to do,
I can agree with that.
because something in samurai culture that they did all the time was if there was no natural successor, they would adopt. So if they would adopt someone from America to take on the Shiba name, and they took the Shiba clan to America, that's all they had to say. But they didn't do any of that.
Yeah, I can see
that.
But
okay, show's over. Bye.
I don't know.
What? Samurai.
So coming up, what time is the retro sense?
Right after this.
Here in about 20 minutes.
And what are you guys talking about?
3 more episodes of Zoo Ranger.
Yeah. We're really looking forward to it. It's our favorite season.
Yeah, it's my favorite season too.
I'm sure it freaking is, Corey.
I feel really convinced.
Corey, we should have you on for the next episode. We should have you on.
What episode you watch?
We're like 3 episodes before Bryce shows up.
All right, I'm gonna come through with and do the Green Ranger stuff.
I knew he was gonna come on for that only. I knew it.
I gotta go buy the freaking season on iTunes. I ain't gonna watch them.
Just watch them
on Tubi.
No, I was gonna buy them anyway because it's Jew Ranger, man. Come on, you know
Bro.
me.
You know. All right, so one Jew Ranger sucks. I miss Jetman so much, man. Like for real. Like
I remember JetX.
Bryce, don't worry. Once you get to Die Ranger, it's gonna go. All the pain of Zoo Ranger will all go away. It will go away.
Zoo Ranger is kind of dry a little bit.
A little bit? Are you kidding me?
Kinda.
That is ridiculous.
Kinda dry, bro.
The only reason why I love it so much is because when I was a kid and I would watch Mighty Morphin and I would see the footage change, and I'm like, I know there's more to that other show, and I want to see it. And I finally got to see.
I will give it this. I think the story of Jew Ranger is better than.
What was that?
Like whenever they do story shit, it's better than Mighty Morphin.
Oh yeah.
When the story matters.
Yeah, right. But it barely does.
Yeah, Bandura had a dickhead son. He got.
I don't know anything about anything, so. You know.
I do know a little that there's a little bit going on with the son, but that's all I know.
Damn, that's all I know.
All right, so that is coming up here in about 20 minutes after we go off the air tomorrow.
This
Sunday.
stuff is so old, man. This can't be a spoiler. It's on Wiki.
It's like spoiling I See Dead People. Tomorrow.
What movie is that from? That's a joke.
Masters of the Universe. Tomorrow we got the Illuminerdi Wrestling Order at 8 o'clock talking about all this stuff that's happened the past week in professional wrestling, AEW, New Japan World, whatever it's called. I don't know, backyard wrestling, all that fun stuff.
Yo, that BA is sick, actually, for real.
Tuesday.
We need to do Illuminerdi backyard wrestling.
Right?
Oh, God.
Episode 3. Yeah, episode 3 of What If. Wednesday night, episode 3 of, it'll be episode 4 of Star Trek Lower Decks. And then there's no new Star Wars stuff, so we'll be back here again on Saturday with the next 3 episodes of Time Force. But right here in the chats, I am putting the link to our Discord server, which I've finally sort of finished.
No, it is finished.
I don't have any like games or like really anything going on there. Like we can build it out though. But if you want to come chat about Power Ranger stuff or movies or TV or comics or any of the exclusives that we drop on the website at theilluminerdi.com, feel free to come by and join us just to chat about whatever. And I guess that'll do it for us for this week. Make sure to stick around to the channel in 20 minutes to see Bryce and Jonathan and Ian. Ian, is Ian joining you?
Yep.
Ian
Yep.
on
Yes.
the
Oh, that'll be
Retro
the first time we all
Sentai
three of us.
wrap-up. And I guess we will see you guys later.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.